All right.
Recording in progress. This
I'm
meeting is
going,
being
then I'm
recorded.
gonna
Do I push
live.
OK at the bottom?
Yeah,
It
hit
says
okay.
OK at the bottom.
Yeah, hit
Okay.
okay.
All right.
And we are live. 1 second. Tune in right now. Oops. Let me go here.
Content of this meeting is being
So
sent to one or more apps. Do I push OK on there?
yeah. Okay, so wait, I'm gonna tell you, we are live. Okay, so right now we are live on Facebook. I just need to do something real quick, then I'm gonna let you do something else. Everybody tune in. I got Meek, Mikco, young Meek, whatever y'all want to call him. He is here. Let's see. Let me go to my Facebook page and I gotta go to our video, our live stream. I gotta edit audience, gotta make it public. So if you want to go to like my page, you'll see us and you can hit share and it will go directly to your page.
So what I do now? I ain't never done no this
Yeah,
shit.
y'all Meek is in the building.
Go
So
to your page. How
yeah,
do I go to my page? Link, go out of it?
okay. So let
Let's
me, you
see.
know what I'm gonna do? This I'm gonna make it easy for you,
Uh-oh.
family. I got you. Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share, and then I'm gonna tag
I done
you, and it should go
disappeared.
on your page. Let me tag me,
I done disappeared. Oh, there I go.
and I think I spelled your name wrong.
Mikco.
Yeah, I put MEE.
Mm-mm.
So all right. You still there, right? Okay.
I'm still here.
Tune in right now. Okay. So I just tagged you. Let me let's make sure I go to my phone. And let me go to your page and just see. Yep, we on your page. Yep. So it's streaming on your page too. I shared it and tagged you.
Okay.
Yeah, technology. Isn't it different now, family?
Oh man, way different because I don't know none of this shit. I'm a
All right.
square from Delaware,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy,
Southside
crazy, crazy.
Delaware.
So let me hit
I'm
so I can see the comments. All right. All right. You guys,
I
this
can't
I
see
didn't
no
think this
comments
interview
though.
was gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna happen. He was so busy this week. I was like, I'm not sure if my brother gonna make it. And then at
Am I
4:30,
supposed to be able to see comments or some shit?
you
Okay.
would have to be on your page, but that's okay. I got it.
Oh,
I'll let you know when people jump on and stuff. But
oh, okay.
you guys, I got that text this morning. My brother never fails me. He has never failed me all these years, and we got like longevity. Dang, how many
Mhm.
years? When did you first?
Uh, I don't know too, man. Shit, it had to be like 2000 or something like that.
Man, you had that baby face.
Yeah, look at me now. Look at all these grades and shit. Nigga. Old Meek. They call
Yeah,
me old Meek in the
that's
hood
that
now.
wisdom. That's that wisdom. That's that
Yeah,
wisdom.
that's all. That's all it is. A whole bunch of wisdom, you
Right.
know, to
Man,
add to it.
so we got what I still call you. I don't care. I still call you young me because we still young. I don't care. I'm 50.
Yeah, young at heart.
Yeah, young at heart, young in life, you know.
Hmm.
Do you still want to be called young Meek? What you want to be called?
Man, they can call me anything but late to dinner, you know?
All right, let's get this interview started. So tell us, what was Mikco like as a from like kindergarten to sixth grade?
Kindergarten, what, kindergarten to sixth grade?
Yeah, like the elementary school,
Elementary school, I could say a class clown, but I was only a class clown because I got my work done before everybody. You know, I was studious I always got A's in school, but
Well,
I was always done with my work before everybody else. So with me being done with my work before everybody else, then I had time to act a fool. You know, That's what I come to find out because I remember one time getting in trouble, and I think I was staying with my grandmother at the time, and she said, "Well, he can't be too goddamn bad. He got all A's." So what you telling me? So I took that, I ran with that. I can't be too bad. I'm getting all A's.
oh,
So I guess maybe it wasn't challenging enough for me, or or
mhm,
I just was a fast learner. I just.
yeah. Did you play sports in like elementary or anything?
Elementary school, yeah, I played baseball. I played for uh Willow Rancho. Willow Rancho, Manuel Silver Field, right there on 24th Street.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I played baseball for Willow Rancho, and I played basketball for Freeport
Mm,
Elementary. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
go Rams.
okay. Well, now what about junior high? How were you then? Were you still getting A's or?
Yeah, yeah, I was A's and B's because shit started getting a little harder. But yeah, I was getting A's and B's in junior high, but I was into BMX in junior high.
Mm,
I got real heavy into BMX. I was a professional bike thief. But you know, we used to have this spot called the Honda Hills. If
uh-huh.
you from South Sacramento, they know about it. It was a little dugout area with a bunch of hills, and we used to stack tires and stuff like that, and we jumped the tires, all kind of stuff, doing tricks on bikes and riding wheelies, and you know, I used to be the king of the block to block, you know,
Wow. Did you ever
from
get
one end
hurt?
of the corner to the no, no, but I've seen plenty of people hurt. I've seen plenty of people hurt. Matter of fact, I had a partner named I don't know where are you at, Craig? What's happening? But this cat named Craig, we went to the Honda Hills after school,
Uh,
and he had a mongoose. He had a mongoose kind of like mine. He had red pads and all the accessories and shit like that. And we used to stack the tires. We go, what I'm saying, three,
mm,
4, 5, 6, 7. What I'm saying, however many tires you can clear. You just keep going up and up and up.
mm.
So he tried to I don't know how many tires it was, but he hit it. He jumped up, and then his back tire didn't clear, and it got caught in the tire, and he flipped over his bike, and he started crying and banging his hands on the ground. And I went up to him and said, "You all right? What's going on?" And his face was all dirty, his mouth was bloody, and his tooth came through his lip. His
Oh,
bottom tooth came through his lip. And we had to get him up and dust him off and and get him to the
oh,
house.
oh my
So
God.
yeah, like light skinned Craig. I don't know where he at, but
So
I ain't seen him since junior high. But
he never went back and rode the bike again?
I doubt that very seriously. Not with them stitches in his lips after that.
Oh my God. Now,
Yeah.
what was Meek like in high school?
In high school, I started playing football. I
Okay.
played football. In junior high, I went to John Steele. High school, I went to John F. Kennedy, and I played football for Kennedy. I played receiver and corner.
Okay.
Never played through. I was my first time playing was in high school because I was always too skinny. I didn't like people touching me. So I was a hands off type of person. But in high school, I just wanted to try something new and play football. It was cool though. We was co-metro champs in junior high. I mean in freshman.
Now, how many years you play?
I played all 4 years.
Okay. Okay.
I played all 4 years, yeah, and went to football practice and went to the and went to the spot after practice. We did at the spot. So I still was scholastic, you know, and I hustled at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I used to be at the spot doing my homework and grinding at the same time. you know.
Mm,
That's just what time it was in, in my life at that time, you know. It
yeah.
was the hustle, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't
Wow.
born with no silver spoon in my mouth. I had to attain it and go for it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you didn't like, okay, so you didn't like people like touching you. So how did you deal with, football, they all on you.
I had to adjust.
Okay.
I had to adjust. I had to for that 2 hours, 2 hours out the day. I
Uh,
had to adjust to being touched or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or you playing receiver, you keeping away from being touched, and with playing cornerback or defensive back, you touching on people. So
mm,
but it just was a I had to acclimate myself. You know.
wow. Wow. Did you now after high school, did you like go to college or anything or
I went to junior college. I
okay.
went to um I went to Sac City and I went to CRC.
What was your major?
What was it? Recording studio techniques.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
recording studio techniques. I was trying to do engineering. I always was in, what I'm saying? I see where music was going, so I was trying to get in, learn the technical side of recording and whatnot. So I was taking recording studio techniques at Sac City.
okay.
Yeah.
So when did the music come about for you? Like, what age and, when, and how?
The music came about shit. For myself, well, the music came about in I'll say the 12th grade.
Mm,
Yeah. And like the 12th grade, part of that my brother used to rap, My brother used to rap, so I didn't rap. I just used to, what I'm saying, watch him do his thing. And you know what I'm saying? And then
And you want to let people know who your brother is?
Sean Thomas, aka Sibo,
Uh,
and Cowboy. And I caught a case and I was in juvenile hall and I met this cat named Honore Brown.
hmm.
And he used to rap and I heard him rap. I knew his sister. So we started chopping it up and whatnot. And I was showing him my pictures. I asked him pictures because in the 12th grade, me and a partner of mine named Kevin Henderson. It was me, Kevin, Jay, and Cisco. We went to LA. Kevin Henderson's his relative was DJ E Swift,
Hmm.
the DJ for the Alcoholics.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, for the Alcoholics and King T and whatnot. So we went to LA when I was in the 12th grade.
Turn the fan off. Uh-huh. Keep talking.
We went to LA and in LA we was at King T's video shoot.
Uh-huh.
We went to the, because they was with the alcoholics. So we went and we went to the video shoot. It was a video called "It's at Your Own Risk." And man, we met King T, the alcoholics, DJ Pooh,
Oh,
Booyah
wow.
Tribe, Ice T, Ice Cube. Everybody was there. If you watch the video, you'll see them all in there. And we
Mm.
was in it too. We got a little cameo, a little scene in that mug. But I met all them all at once. So I was man, and I always was into pictures. I was always into pictures, taking pictures, capturing the moment in time. My mom always had a bunch of pictures at the house, and you know what I'm saying. So I was into pictures as well.
Mm.
So yeah, I had pictures with all of them, everybody. And when I came back and I had caught that case and was in juvenile hall. I had all those pictures. So fools was always gathering around looking. You know what I'm saying? I'm 17 years old with
Wow.
pictures with Ice T, Ice
Wow.
Cube, Booyah Tribe, King T, the Alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm the most popular poppinest cat. Already from you know what I'm saying, from having money and hustling and whatnot. But I got these pictures to show that, you know what I'm saying, it's real, you know. And the cat Honore was like, you know, he seen it, you know, he seen more in me than I seen in myself when it came to that because he told me, he said, man, I want you to be my manager. And I said, your manager? I said, nigga, I don't know nothing about no management. He
Now,
said,
Honore
yes, you do.
is,
X-rated.
that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, X-rated. So he was like, man, I want you to manage me. And I was like, fuck it. Yeah, okay. You know, because I already like, you know, he can rap his ass off, you
Mhm.
know, but it was a catch. He was from a different neighborhood, you know, so that was, you know, it was a conflict of interest. But I didn't care because my brother is a conflict of interest. My brother is from a different neighborhood. So
Okay.
that never was an issue with me being from Meadowview and then being from Gardens.
Yeah.
So I already am majority of my clientele was Crips, you know what I'm saying, at the time. So it didn't matter to me. And I said, forget it. You know, can we cuss? Or, is we cussing or is keeping this clean or
For
what?
real, just keep it real. It's Facebook Live, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So,
It's like Sacramento Funk, remember? And y'all used to talk,
okay.
y'all used to talk any type of way
Right.
because I came on like 11 o'clock at night. So
At night, yeah.
I
So,
got away with
yeah.
a lot.
So, you know, he ended up going to the boys' ranch. I ended up getting out, and once he started coming home on passes, we would get to the studio.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I would go take his mom to go pick him up
Mm,
from the boys' ranch, and then go home, and then we go to the studio. You know what I'm saying? We should go to Inharmonics downtown,
mm.
and yeah, and we, you know, I booked the studio time, and let him get in there and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, you know what I'm saying, I met with Brother Lynch and Triple Six, and that's where we used to get down at because, you know, Brother Lynch used to do all the production,
Mhm.
and then, you know, Max was his brother, or, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and that's how we did it. That's how I started. You know, all, you know, every weekend when he come on the boys ranch, we get to the studio and work on the album. You know, and that's how it all kicked off.
Was he already signed with Black Market then, or did or?
No, 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 he wasn't with Black Market.
Mhm.
Not at all. Not at all. That Black Market came in the end. Black Market came at like the shit. We was done with the album. We had one uptick. We might have did one song. Black Market might have been responsible for one song, and that was Sickness. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? The song The Sickness, the one that I'm on, my first verse or second verse
Uh,
ever. Because the first verse was a song called Drunk as a Motherfucker. But the second verse I ever wrote was that verse for Sickness.
mm.
And that was done at Said Sing House on in G Parkway on Mandy, I think. It was something off of Mandy or something like that. So
Okay.
yeah, Black Market came in at the end. They came in at the tail end after all the hard work and shit was all done. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Okay. Okay. So so you didn't really in the music industry. You kind of started like management first before you
On the
really.
executive on the executive side, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I came on the executive side. I had no thoughts of being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I was like this. I was looking. I looked up to Jay Prince and Suge Knight. You
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying? I wanted to be the man in the back. I never cared about being in the front. You know what I'm saying? The back is where all the money at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The artist,
that's
you
true
know what I'm saying?
too.
The back is where the money at. I'm the money man. I'm the financier of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna play the back. I'm gonna play the back like Suge Knight and put all these Crip niggas out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And some of the homies was hating. It was a lot of, it was homies that was hating on the shit, and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting this money. You don't understand that, then you just another nigga that just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Right. Right.
yeah, that was that. I didn't start rapping until the end. Like, you know, like I said, I got on the last song on the sickness. But I didn't want to rap. I didn't care about rapping. You know what I'm saying? And only I started to I came about the rapping shit came about was when we was in the studio doing they was doing a posse cut called Drunk as a Motherfucker. And it was like it was hella people on the song. It was hella people on the song. And as we were going about, as they were going on, I was just like, half these motherfuckers is weak, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And and Lynch was like, well, why don't you see what you can do? Or, you know, let's see what you can do. I said, man, I don't know how to rap. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, man, I'll teach you. So I was like,
Oh.
fuck it. I was like, come on. He sat me down in the corner and showed me how to write the verse. He showed me how to write the bars, you
Uh-huh.
know, with the rhyme, you know, 2 bars, 4 bars, 6 bars, 8 bars, 10, and the last word is the rhyming word and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, it came. I already was scholastic. You know what I'm saying? So it came to me like nothing. You know, and on top of that, I was like, half the shit y'all talk about, y'all ain't about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I really live this shit. So it was second nature for me, you know. And then we laid the verse, and it was all right, you know what I'm saying. But what was so ironic about the shit is how I was said about, you know, motherfuckers be faking and talk about it while I live it. And then the song we did was called Drunk as a Motherfucker, and I didn't drink.
Oh
So here I was starting my shit off faking it like the rest of these motherfuckers.
oh my
You know what I'm
goodness.
saying? It's another studio faker. You know
Oh.
what I'm saying? But you know, it still came out. It still came out tighter than the majority of them cats. You know what I'm saying? And then the next verse that I wrote was um X-Rated's album called Psychoactive, and it was called Sickness, and it was and the verse was true to life. That's when Young Meek was that's when Young Meek stepped up and stepped into, you know what I'm saying, into the game. You know what I'm saying? When I did that verse. And it was true to life, so it was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was hard. One of you know what I'm saying, it was one of the, you know what I'm saying, memorable verses on the album, you know what I'm saying? Especially coming from, because you know, X-Rated them was, you know, gangster and gang banging and you know, he was lyrical and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
that cat Young Meat came in there and was talking about some real, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, put the quarter in the slot to start the dope game. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it's just so ironic. It's just so funny because when we went to Funky Fat Graphics,
Oh
you know
wow.
what I'm
I
saying?
haven't heard that in a long
We went to
time.
yeah, Funky Fat Graphics, you know, we went out there to looking at the album cover and artwork and whatnot, something like that, you know, because they did all the graphics and shit. And we was there sitting there talking to the cast from Funky Fat Graphics, and they was talking about the album, blah blah blah. And one of the cats from Funky Fat Graphics said, "Man, that album tight, man. I like this." He said, "But it's one dude on there. I like him." And then it was like, "Which one you talking about?" He said, the one on the sickness, the one that said he put the quarter in the slot to start the dope game." And I was like, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah, man, I dig him, man." And he was, you know what I'm saying? He was kicking that shit, man. And I said, "That's me." And he was like, "For real?" I was like, yeah, man, that's me, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really no rapper. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just the executive producer. And whoop de whoop. He's like, well, shit, man, you might wanna start rapping because that shit was hard. And that was you know,
Wow. Wow.
that was the the spark. You know what I'm saying? That was the spark I needed right there.
Hey,
Even
Meek,
though I really wasn't tripping.
do you have more light in the room or no?
More light.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see.
Man,
Yeah.
all
Okay.
right,
There you go.
okay, there we go. There we go. What's up,
All
Dre?
right.
We got Conscious Vibes watching. We got Sub Zero watching. We got a few other people
What's
watching.
up, Dre?
Yeah, Andre Henley is up in here. Um, how did the name Young Meek come? Did you name or somebody else named it?
Uh, really? Let me see. How did that come about, man? My name is Mikco.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my birth name is Mikco. My godmother named me. My auntie godmother Sequita. She named me Mikco.
Uh-huh.
And you know, like Michael, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
Mikco, Meek. You know what I'm saying? And they always call me, Meek. And
Mm-hmm.
then the young was just a spice to put the, you know what I'm saying, to put the little, you know what I'm saying, the little swag, the little spice on it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Plus it was like I think yeah, like the Amu cats used to put young in front of their name, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And I was young, I was shit, 17. I was young and my name was Meek. You know, I'm not a meek person per se,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just the, that was just the name, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What was the name of your first, what was it, CD back then, and you know, when did you first, branch out and do, the first one and what year was that?
It was what was it like 2000 or 2001 or something like that? I did the first album South Area's Most.
2001 it says. Yep, 2000 South
Yeah,
there.
2001. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. I wrote that I wrote that whole album. I wrote that album in shit, Susanville and Solano. So,
Okay.
I just pieced it together, you know. Yeah, I pieced it together. I would really just I would write a whole bunch of verses. What I did, I never used to write just songs, straight up a whole song. I
Mm-hmm.
write verses. Whatever I'm feeling that day, I write the verse. I write a verse, I write a verse. And then I'd put two verses together that kind of like went together. And then I come up with the hook. And then I always wrote the third verse in the studio, once I got the beat. So the two verses will be to some instrumental or whatever like that, and then that third verse will be really written to the actual, more than likely the beat that was produced for the song. You know what I'm saying? That would help me really like put the spice on it and put the, you know what I'm saying, put the kick with it, you know?
And was
So
that on your own record label, right?
yeah, yeah. M1 Music, you know what I'm
You
saying?
never
Majority of
was,
production,
yeah, you
huh?
never was with anybody other label, right?
Nah, no, not at all. Not at all. It was all always independent. And majority of the production was by Studio Tone. And Studio Tone that did a lot of E40 and the Click and Be
Mm-hmm.
Legit whatnot, you know. And then
How'd you hook
who
up
else
with
I worked with?
Tone?
With Tone, I hooked up with Tone. I had a partner that was from a partner named Mike. He was from Vallejo. He was from Vallejo, and we used to work out together.
Hmm.
And he lined it up. He kind of lined it up, and and Tone already knew of me from back in the Click days, because we messed with 40 and them and all that from
Right. Yeah.
day one, from what I'm saying, back then. So Tone already knew of me, but Mike rekindled it, and then he said when I touched down to come get at him. And when I touched down, I went and got at him. And he
Mhm.
kept it, you know what I'm saying? He kept it real. I love that. I love that cat. Studio Tone, Tone only. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he put me down. You know what I'm saying? He put me on.
Yeah.
Studio Tone put me on. Yep. And then
And
I
that's where you
went and
did
got
the
at
South areas most was with Studio Tone,
Studio Tone. Yeah, South there is most
first and foremost.
and first and foremost. Yeah, both of them. Majority was through Studio Tone, and then and Big Hollis. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Big
We
Hollis.
can't Yeah. Shout out to Big Hollis. You know what I'm saying? Wally, that boy Wally. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and then just a few another a producer here and there. You know what I'm saying? But majority of it was Studio Tone and then Hollis.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I could say about you, I really can't pinpoint, exactly, when we met, how we met, but I know you used to always get at me when you had a video, when and every time you was doing something, you made sure you included, me, and I always made sure your videos and stuff was always, on and everything. But you knew now that I'm talking to you, you had that boss mentality from the get-go, even from like getting the A's in school, and you just had that smartness about business and everything. Because I remember one time I was at Jack in the Box on Arden and there by Arden and Bell, and I looked up and I saw your flyers plastered on the pole.
Everywhere.
Yeah, you know,
Oh
you
yeah.
you knew how to get your name out there and really promote, even though you really didn't want to rap, but once you came into the music, you knew how to do all that stuff. How did you kind of like learn all that and stuff?
Marketing and promotion. Uh, Let me see. It was really second nature. But a partner of mine named Corey Wright.
Hmm.
He we was in we was in hate to always refer back to prison, but Corey, we was in Solano together. And when he left, he sent me a book, everything you need to know about the music industry, or something like that. And he blasted he sent it to me up in there. And I read it back and forth to back, and I knew that promotion is everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your name out there. You got to get your face out there. And man, we spent so much money. I spent so much money on product, stickers, posters, all the promotion stuff like that, wrapping the vans. You know what I'm saying? We had two rap vans running around, and
Mm, remember.
I knew my main thing was to get them stickers. You know what I'm saying? Because a poster you can put up, and a poster get tore down, but a sticker, that sticker gonna be there. And
Yeah.
my main thing was like, okay, where does everybody go? Drive through. So we go to the drive through. We either we was eat if we wasn't eating there, we were just pulling up. I had a little crew, and we pull up and peel them stickers off, back, put it right there on that where you finna order your food at. And that way, whenever it's millions of dollars being made at fast food. So I'm like, let me get a bar of this. And
Man.
we placed them, with product placement. We put the sticker on the little thing where you order your food at. We put the stickers on the stop signs,
Yeah.
stop lights,
Holes and stuff.
everywhere you turn, where you gotta pull up at the light, you gotta sit there for a couple minutes, and it got the thing to point the finger to whatever the sign pointing like one way or whatever like that. Put it right there. Because when you're sitting there at the light, you're gonna be looking to your left and your right, and you're gonna look to your left and you're gonna see that young Meek, and you know what I'm saying? When you bend that corner, when you go to the stop sign, you stop at the stop sign, you can look at the stop sign, young Meek, you know what I'm saying? When you go to the gas station, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta pump the gas. We was everywhere. I mean, we was
Everywhere.
we was everywhere like bird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like broken glass.
Yeah.
I remember one time my brother called me. He was like, "Bro, I love you, man." He said, "Man, you do your shit, man." I said, "What's up, fool? What's happening?" He said, "Man, I was coming through the desert, I was coming through the desert on my way to LA. We pulled over at the gas station, man. We jumped out to get the gas, and your ass was everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
I said, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wherever we went, all across California, man, we went across, man. We went on a promo tour all the way across from Sacramento all the way down to LA, all the way across through the Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma,
Man.
you know what I'm saying? All the way to where we go to. We ended up in Ohio. We ended up in Cincinnati, Ohio. We went to Akron, Columbus, and then when we got to what's called we got to Cincinnati, it was too early. And when we went to Cincinnati, we had a dude named T, Big T. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, Big T? You know, the coordinator. He said, you know, we can go up to Detroit right now and come back. We had some promo stuff lined up in Cincinnati or something like that. And I said, Detroit? I said, for real? He said, man, all this shit is real close. California long, Texas is wide. He said, but all these other states are small, and we can bounce up to Detroit. And by the time we get to Detroit, the record stores up there will be open, and then we can double back to Ohio. So I was like, let's go. We bounced up to Detroit. Man, that was the coldest. I didn't been in Susanville before. I'm up here in Susanville right now. And it was so damn cold in that motherfucker. But Detroit, ah, it was crazy. It was crazy. And we had these fluorescent signs. The fluorescent signs with the album on there. There was fluorescent orange, and it had my name and whatnot on it. And we stapled them together, and we had just a cold street team going, and we stapled them together, and then we throw them up the pole. We throw them up the pole. One to go up, we climb up there, we push them up higher, and then we push up a couple more, and then they'd just be way up at the top, you know. But we was all through Detroit freezing, man. That was the coldest, man. That's a cold city, man. Detroit, y'all, I don't know what y'all be doing. That's why you Detroit cats be wearing them furs and shit because it'd be cold out there.
Was
And
it snowing?
nah, it wasn't snowing because it was like November.
Mm,
So it was about to start snowing, I believe, and it was cold like it had snow, but it was freezing. But we went to all the stores and shit like that, and that's when we got up on the East Side Cheddar Boys and whatnot. They was hot at that time, and
mm,
uh and then we Detroit, the roads is raggedy. That shit was raggedy as hell, man. That shit was like a third world country. They roads so tore up. We busted the tire on the van. We had I had two vans. I had an Astro van and I had a Toyota Previa.
uh-huh.
We used to call it Previa, the ancient Chinese secret. And it had rims on it, it had low profile tires. So we was coming through Detroit and we hit a pothole. Bam! So we pop the tire. Man, we had to find a place to get, we had to find a place to get the tire fixed, got that fixed, and then we bounced back down to Ohio. By the time we got back to Ohio, everything was open, the malls was open. You know what I'm saying? Police started sweating us, security sweated us because we was passing out flyers in the mall. They said you can't do that, and you
Yeah.
know, we did it anyway. Matter of fact, I think we was in Columbus at the time,
Mm,
and then we just bounced around, and then the last spot we stopped in Oklahoma City. Let me not leave out Oklahoma City because Oklahoma City they showed us love. You know what I'm saying? And my grandma's from is from Oklahoma.
mm.
So I remember calling her and telling her, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in your where you was born at. She was like, where you at? Well, I'm like, Oklahoma. That was happy, you know what I'm saying? When that rest in peace. And they showed us love. They showed us love in Oklahoma City, man. That shit was crazy. Oklahoma City and Tulsa. They showed us love, and then that's when we bounced from there. We bounced across, and then we went to Cincinnati and all that, and then we bounced down. And the last spot, the where we were going was to the Bayou Classic.
Mm.
The Bayou Classic every year in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
That was the main spot we was going to hit. But we was like, we finna hit everything in between. and
Mhm.
we had it my way Big T. You know what I'm saying? He was a coordinator. He had us all mapped out. It was M1, it was M1 music and the Goodfellas. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Jada and Young Jada. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Young Jada, it was Young Meek and Young Jada. You know what I'm saying? We was across the intercontinental United States, man, getting it. And
Wow.
we bounced down, went to the we ended it in New Orleans for the Bayou Classic, and
Mhm.
that was crazy. We
Mhm.
had a ball. We had a ball. We did that. We did that for both albums. That Bayou Classic. We hit that Bayou Classic every album. You know what I'm saying? And promote it because you know at the Bayou Classic, people from everywhere, especially from from the southern states and whatnot.
Mhm.
And we met a lot of good people. And the
Wow.
Bayou Classic was the last stop, and we had a ball.
And
Didn't
you
go to
know,
the game or nothing,
yeah, I was gonna say
huh?
back then we didn't have no internet. You know what I mean?
No, not at
You had
all.
to. You
That's
had
what's so crazy about it. Yeah, you had to get out there. You had to get out there and meet people,
and
you
travel
know?
like you did. You got out of
And
Sacramento, you know?
yeah,
And it's funny
yeah,
because you hear
yeah.
40 say, like 40 and other artists say they blew up, they didn't blow up in their own hometown. They blew up somewhere else, you know?
Your own city, your hometown is gonna be the last one to accept you. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? You got to get out. They ain't gonna. It seems like they don't accept you unless everybody else accepts you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get out. It's never gonna be. It's never gonna be the hometown. It's gonna be out of town, out of state. You know what I'm saying? We went through Kansas City, all that shit too. We went through all that shit.
Mhm.
Where Tech Nine, and you know what I'm saying? Tech Nine had shit on lock. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was big. We did a lot. We did a lot out there.
What was your
We
first
took it down.
performance at? Like on stage and stuff?
Um, First performance, yeah, probably somewhere in Sacramento. Probably
Wow.
somewhere in Sacramento. You
Okay.
know, yeah, it was in Sacramento. I can't remember where,
What was your
but
best
a
performance?
hole in the wall.
What was your best
Some
performance
hole in
at?
the wall. Um,
Like the city, you just like, man,
ah,
this is it.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Oklahoma City. We was on the road with it was Oklahoma City and Denver. And Denver. Yep. It
Mhm.
was Oklahoma City and Denver. We was on the road. I was on the road with Bo, and we was on his little run. We was on a run with him. And yep. And yeah, Oklahoma City and Denver.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now when
And it was
both
just like DJ Quick. It was
huh?
just like DJ Quick said, when you know what I'm saying, when you all in Denver,
Oh
niggas
yeah,
throwing Chris signs
yeah, yeah, I remember that.
they bob to the beat and throwing Chris signs at you. That was
Wow.
hilarious. Yeah, we had a
Wow.
ball though. We had a
Wow.
ball.
Now
You know what I'm
both
saying?
when both like because you didn't start out like you're being in the music industry with Bo, but you guys wind up like collaborate doing songs and stuff together. Has he ever like in the beginning when you was young, like give you advice or how did you guys, come together? And then it's like all three of you guys, you got three brothers in the music industry. Or am I missing
Yeah.
anybody?
Nah.
Okay,
It
three,
was three of us. I mean, it was four, but one passed away before he really got to get on. You know what I'm saying? Lil Bo, rest in peace. And
Mm,
because he's on music. He's on the what's called with me. On the Mob Figures. He's on the Mob Figures album with
okay.
us. You know what I'm saying? So he's on there. He made his mark on that one. But he didn't get on. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else really before his
Mm,
untimely passing. But yeah, it was shit. It was four of us. Shit, little Bo, little Meek, you know what I'm saying? Bo and that's how it was. It was us and it was them. They were the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? The little bros. You know.
yeah. Do
Yeah.
you,
But yeah, as far as advice, he kind of like he knew a motherfucker already had the mental for it. You know what I'm saying? He
Mhm.
already knew. He already knew that I knew. You know what I'm saying? All he really did was, you know what I'm saying? I need a verse, he gonna oblige. You know what I'm saying? You need a verse, whatever I need, I'll either blast it to him or I'll go up there and lay it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Now, did AWOL ever try to sign you?
no,
Okay.
no, no. It could, you know what I'm saying? Dude was locked up. You know what I'm saying? The owner of AWOL Records was locked up. You know what I'm saying? The heyday, you know what I'm saying, of AWOL, you know what I'm saying, he was like Suge Knight. Shit, he didn't get to enjoy the shit. He was always locked up. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, he's heard he heard the music, you know what I'm saying? I didn't bust it for him over the phone at time, you know what I'm saying, at one time or another, you know what I'm saying? And then he heard me on I've been on several AWOL uh
Compilations.
albums and shit,
Uh,
compilations, yeah, like West Coast Trippin'
mhm.
and you know what I'm saying, and songs with Bo and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but as far as signing, nah, you know, maybe if he would have been home or something like that, and you know what I'm saying, a check could have been cut and music could have been made. It could have been different, but it would have been a slash. It would have been a slash anyway. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been just an artist because I never was one to be sunned or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? We would have slashed something. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a slash.
Yeah.
You know, on the run distribution would have been, you know what I'm saying, the distributor, and then N1 would have been the album, the label or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, because he did have the game, you know what I'm saying, and the relationships. So, you know what I'm saying, but he was gone and all they had was what, Bayside and Walt City Hall. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
saying? And
wow. You mentioned that's some old
yeah,
things I haven't heard of in
yeah.
years.
Yep,
Yeah.
and me and Tone went out there and got Will Walt at City Hall Records. You know what I'm saying? He was the plug at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Now on
So
your record label, who did you had other artists too, right?
mm-hmm.
So refresh
Yep.
my memory. Who were else was on M1?
I had a group called MTL, Mob to Live, and they was on the second album on the South Area's Most. You know what I'm saying? And that was really spearheaded by my young homie Lick, you know, and
Shout out to Lick.
yeah, shout out to Lick, you know what I'm saying? And Lick was like the one that I gravitated the most to. Lick was there, you know what I'm saying? Out of all the cats from MTL, Lick was the one that was there from that that went all the way across the United States with me. You know what I'm saying? Lick was there the whole time, you know, and he's the one that's at it to this day. You know what I'm saying? Making music and he's still, keeping that N1 lit and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And still pushing me to do music and you know what I'm saying?
And there's one
Yeah.
person that's dear to both me and that's truly, truly misses, 69 Mall. Jamal Kurt,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
Signet.
is
Yeah.
and I know you was real close with them too, and he was got me and him, was close also, but he did a lot of things for the city too. He tried to, put on events, and everything, and he
Yeah.
was there with you guys and stuff.
Yeah. He used to do all kind of shows. You know what I'm saying? Throwing them shows at the what is that, at the bowling alley
In Lagoon, El Grove.
on Laguna and El Grove. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, yep. He kept that. He kept old Jay Holiday or
yeah. Yeah.
Bobby V. All the shit that Eric Stevens is doing
I knew
right
he was gonna
now. You
say
know what I'm
Bombay.
saying?
Yeah.
Everything Bombay doing, that was Maul. You know what I'm saying? But Bombay had something to do. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of linked into that whole situation too. So you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to, you know what I'm saying,
But even
Savon
when the
Bay.
young Meek Mall was back, I mean, with the young Meek back in days, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
the rally. So yeah, yeah, he was there. He was there from day one. Maul was, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Maul was hopping out the vans with us in Vegas and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Maul was there because them was my young niggas. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Them my young rallies, and you know what I'm saying? So everywhere I went, that's where they went too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it did, and then it didn't help the fact that that Goodfellas was was also from the hood too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was all of us. It was in one of Goodfellas, all, you know what I'm saying, across the states, and you know what I'm saying, and in the city near you, you know, pushing the line.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
you miss the
yeah,
record stores?
huh?
You miss the record stores?
Man, yeah, yeah, I do, I remember watching the demise of the record stores. I watched them fiddle, you know what I'm saying? I watched them just dwindle away. You know what I'm saying? It's like my first commercial was shot in front of in front of the Goodfellas record store right there on Florin at Jeter them shop. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
And
So wait a minute. Okay, Alpha Four was top notch, right?
it was top, yeah, top notch. What was that? Top notch turned into Goodfellas. I think Jeter got top notch
I
from
forgot
got
about that.
Goodfellas from top notch from Sean, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sean Brown, I think his name was.
yeah, and
Yeah, that's who. And
the older cat that used to drive me, he used to drive that candy red lack with the older dude that used to be in top notch. He had that red old
yeah,
classic. Yeah.
I could tell you this. It was a time when I was finna do something with dude that owned that record store. You know what I'm saying? We was gonna slash something and do it, and you know what I'm saying, do some music. But it never, you know what I'm saying, it never panned out. You know what I'm saying? Because he had it at that time, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, I knew him, and he was with you know what I'm saying, uh one of my folks, and at the time he was with her, and yeah, we was gonna do something, but you know, that shit got hot and went bad, and you know what I'm saying. But you know, everything's in time, on time, all the time. So, you know,
I
it did
forgot
what it
it.
did.
I totally forgot it turned like good.
top top notch. Yep, yeah. That's what that was the record store first.
I used to always run
Hmm.
into Mac Dre there. And Mac
Yeah,
used to always
yep,
be like, Alita, I'm coming on the show. I'm gonna come, I'm gonna come, and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was
Right
always
there,
that
right
top
there.
notch.
At top notch, or in front of Punjab, the little store right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sub Zero's watching. Remember we had the premier music stores, back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
shout out
Yeah.
to Sub Zero for watching.
Yeah,
He was
shout
on
out.
last
Yeah,
week.
shout out to Sub-Zero. Yeah, hey, them stores, man. You know, that's what we're talking about. The stores, the demise of the stores. You know, uh, I remember I used to get the list of all the stores, and I
Mhm.
would get at them. I would call them all the mom and pops. I would call them and introduce myself and ask them could I send them a, you know what I'm saying, a packet out there or whatnot to them. And that's how I went about it, you know. And I would just go back through that list, and you call them stores back, and we're sorry, this number has been disconnected or is no longer in service. You're like, oh, damn, cross them out. You know what I'm saying? Cross them out. It was gone. It was slowly but surely just gone. Peaches Records in New Orleans or wherever, man, everything they were just slowly but surely dying. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then they would die out, and the bootlegging was really prevalent, you know what I'm saying, and coming about too.
Oh
Because I remember
yeah.
we was in we was in Ohio, I believe, and it was in Ohio or St. Louis, somewhere. It was somewhere back there. And I was inside the store talking to the owner. You know what I'm saying? Giving me my sales pitch and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, well, you don't want to buy no copies. How about I'll leave you, you know what I'm saying, 5 or 10, you know what I'm saying, and I'll tap back in with you because we hitting your city up, we promoting your city, so somebody gonna come through here looking for this music. You know what I'm saying? We passing out the snippets and all this and that. And he said, man, these bootleggers, man, are killing me now. He said, man, they hang out right out. They don't got no respect. They hang out right outside the store. And and it was some youngsters outside, man. And I remember Jeter them gave the niggas the they music. I said, nigga, they finna go mass produce your shit. And you ain't gonna get a dime. He said, I said, man, fuck them niggas. I said, for I'll get a nigga something, I'm not giving them nothing. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to come in the store and at least buy one and then go bootleg that motherfucker. At least I'll sell one in this motherfucker. But you're not gonna sell nothing. You're not because they got you already.
I
You know
forgot
what I'm
about the
saying?
bootleggers. Oh my God.
Man, crazy the motherfucker, man. You
So then it
know?
went from bootlegging to the internet now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It,
Pirating.
yeah,
Yeah, pirating. Yep.
it's just crazy, then, everybody's like telling me, oh, bring the show back. You know what I mean? Shoot. I mean, now
Yeah.
I don't even know, like I know Access is still on, but nobody really turns on to what who, do you turn on to TV access TV? You know?
Access TV? Nah, I
Yeah.
really watch TV. You know what I'm saying?
See?
I be on my damn phone more than anything, you know. I'm a trucker, so I'll be on my phone, you know.
Yeah.
Only time I would do watch any videos as far as video shows, it's on cable, and that's just turning the TV on the on the video channel and then cleaning up or something. You know what I'm saying? Background noise and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just the game's been changed. The game has changed so much. You know what I'm saying? But then YouTube is where everything is at too. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. That's why I
social
came up with
media and shit.
this. Send a Zoom link
Yeah, yeah,
live on Facebook, upload it on YouTube. You know?
yeah. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You
And
know
you
what I'm
remember I
saying?
was behind the camera. I never was. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, down. What was we at down? Where was you at? What? Not downtown, but
Access on T Street.
exit, yeah, off T Street, yeah.
But I
Right
used to,
by the kind of by the hospital, wasn't it?
yeah, but
Kind of
remember,
by but Sutter Memorial, wasn't it by Sutter Memorial?
no,
Down that
by
way, all the
Smud
way
and
down
all
J
that.
Street or something?
By Smud,
Huh?
UC
Yeah,
Davis, kind of like by UC Davis a little bit. But
yeah. That's considered almost east, right?
yeah, yeah, but carrying
Yeah,
that camera equipment, getting the lights, and I can't believe I used to do all that back. And
yeah,
if y'all wanted me
yeah,
to go to a location, go to that location, and stuff. I
yeah.
remember,
Hey,
like
you used to be getting it though. You was a G in the game. You was a G in the game. You know what I'm saying? Anybody from that old school, you know what I'm saying? They know you. You
yeah,
know, they
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yep. Used to be linked in with a lot of people too.
mhm,
That was crazy. But
yeah.
I guess it was your job though, right?
Yeah, it is funny because a couple weeks ago, I got a few of the other video shows back in the days, and we got on, we did I interview. We was talking about how Jack the Rapper, all those conventions, and
Yeah.
how we broke a lot of artists back in the days.
Yep.
And
Yep.
some people just, they forget about us or don't include us. But one thing I can say about you, T Nutty, and all that, you guys all would be like, Alita was there. you know,
Yeah.
when you guys
Yeah.
have
Use
events,
it day
invite me.
one. You
Huh?
say what?
When you guys have events and stuff, you make sure you text me and stuff. You know what I mean? And invite
Yeah.
me out and stuff. But
Yeah. You pop
but
out.
but I always wanted to support the local. That was the thing, because I always say not knocking. Now it's a whole different world. Charge, go ahead and charge people to come. But back then I wasn't charging nobody come on my show, because if I wasn't charging the major people, why was I charging the local? You know, and I wanted
Yeah.
to try and I wanted to promote. And I've said this before on my show that I remember people standing outside the liquor store with the CDs and stuff, wanting me to buy them. And I was like, I ain't gonna buy your CD, but I'll put you on TV.
Right. What's
I
better?
did,
I'll get you more. Yeah, I'll get you more fans. I'll get you some, some a little bit of shine. I help you shine.
and I used to,
I ain't finna spend a dime, but I help you shine.
yeah, and it's like, I loved, it was nice interviewing the majors, but it was really you guys, because it gave me longevity relationships with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You ain't lying. Cause we
No.
still kicking it. You
Mhm.
know,
So what
here
is
it is,
what is Mikco doing now?
man. I own a trucking company. You know, I transcended. I transcended from that music shit. You know what I'm saying?
What was the
And
breaking point? What was the breaking point? So like, okay, I'm not gonna do that.
the breaking point was shit. The demise of the mom and pops. You know what I'm saying? Everything disappeared. You know what I'm saying? All the stores was gone. It just went. I don't know, man. It could have been. Could have, should have, would have. You know, the situation got oversaturated and overflooded with you know what I'm saying, with rappers and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then too, I got to meeting them. You know what I'm saying? I got to meeting these niggas, and I would meet them, and I'd be like, this nigga fake as fuck. These niggas is fake. You know what I'm saying? It threw me off. It's like it was WWF, WWE. You know what I'm saying? Your local, your favorites, your shit like that. Niggas be clowns. You know what I'm saying? It'd be fake. And I would be, I get, got to meeting them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh man, this shit is corny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't my hustle was preceding me. You know what I'm saying? I was getting too much money elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? That might have been a problem too. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I already had my end. You know what I'm saying? I was already up. So with this music shit, it was like, okay, this ain't selling like I would want it to.
yeah.
And then I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm over here out of control, doing what I do. So it's like, man, fuck that. And these niggas is just straight fugazi. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's it's something I read where it said you never want to meet your hero. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be let down. Not to say that any of these niggas are my heroes, because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But to meet artists and see that, man, these niggas is fake. You know what I'm saying? It kind of it made me like, man, I ain't got no time for this shit. Let me go on and you know what I'm saying, continue on and get this money, man, and you know what I'm saying, and stack my real estate portfolio. You know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
and do it like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because while I was they was a lot of cat was rapping about it while I was living it. You know what I'm saying? And to really see them and meet them and see that it was you know what I'm saying, it was fugazi. It really like put a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? I never liked to watch wrestling. Only on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat back in them days. You know what I'm saying? But when I found out wrestling was fake, then it was out the door too. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then to find out a lot of these rap niggas is fake, it's out the door too. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to just go ahead and transcend. You know what I'm saying? When it wasn't coming fast enough for me, because me, I get bored quick. You know what I'm saying? I get bored quick. I get bored easily. And once I put forth my efforts, my maximum efforts, and get minimal returns, I got to, I got to move. I got to pivot. I got to pivot. So I had to pivot.
Mhm.
On top of that, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, catching, I think I caught catch as well. You know what I'm saying? That was a little afterwards. But I had to transcend into something else.
Mhm.
And what I seen with having a record, you can only do. what having a criminal record, you can only do so much and whatnot. And when I was messing with a cat that was into trucking, and I seen that was having that you get some money doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I had a Fed case, and I had to transcend. I had to do something else. I had to bust a move. You know what I'm saying? So I came home, fought the case, came home, and then went to signed myself up for truck driving school. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my boy Al, because Al, you know what I'm saying, he worked at EDD. And he's like, man, I can get you in a program where they pay for it. You know what I'm saying? The state will pay for it. And I was like, for real? And he was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I kept hollering at him. He was like, man, just keep getting at me. You know what I'm saying? After the fiscal year passes, they're going to give us some money and then they're going to pay for the program. So he called me one day and said, get up here. And I smashed up there, took care of everything like that. Went to uh went to truck driving school, got my class A's, you know what I'm saying? Got me a truck, got on the road, went to did the California corridor, you know what I'm saying, Western region, you know what I'm saying? And then got me another truck, you know what I'm saying? And I just start, you know what I'm saying? Start growing my company like that. You know what I'm saying? It was
So
like
it's
shit, I
your
could see
own
more money
company.
doing this.
It's your
Oh
own
yeah, for sure. For
company.
sure.
Man.
M1 Express.
And how many trucks do you have?
I sold I had two trucks, and then when the fuel went to $7, I tapped out. I tapped out and sold all my equipment, and I started doing dump truck work. And
Mm.
I figured out I'll go get into something else that where no matter what fuel you're using is going to be used towards the money you making. You know, trucking, you can get a load going out, but don't have a load coming back, and you working for nigga pennies in the end. So I said, okay, if you get in a dump truck, you getting it from port to port. You getting it from, you know what I'm saying? You charging from when you pick it up, and then you know what I'm saying, you get your back time, your back haul and whatnot. So and it's paying by the hour. So I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I went and worked for a company, tried it out. They folded two months in. They folded. And I was like, oh man, this is crazy.
Mm.
So I said, you know what? I'm still gonna do this shit.
Oh.
Cause I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like driving. My whole hustle was about taking something taking a product from point A to point B, you know what I'm saying, and getting paid for it. And so I started looking for a dump truck, and then the guy that owned the company that folded, he had all his trucks at the same place where I was selling mine at, and
Okay.
yeah, it ended up being like that, and so I got at the cat at the that I had selling my trucks, and he was like, yeah, man, Brian said to plug you, and I was like, is that right? He said, man, come up here. And I went up there and talked to him, and his name was Brian as well. And he was like, "Man, he told me to give it to you for, you know what I'm saying? This is when all the equipment was real high. The equipment was real high, and he just gave me he plugged me. You know what I'm saying? He gave me the super plug. I ain't, you know, he knocked it down for me. And I was like, all right, cool. I need this. I jumped in that motherfucker and linked up with a partner of mine named Huckabuck, you know what I'm saying, from Seaside. He worked for Tykert, you
Wait
know
a
what I'm saying, and
minute.
that's where you go
Hold
get
on.
that's where yeah, from Seaside, from your hometown. Yeah,
Hucklebuck.
yeah, Pierre. Yeah.
Dang, that's
And yeah, and he gave me that list. He was like, look, man, you gotta sit, you know, already know, you gotta get at all these companies, call them and line and you know what I'm saying, and give them your spiel, you know what I'm saying, and fill out that packet, and you know what I'm saying, and after I started getting that, you know what I'm saying, that first call or two, you know what I'm saying, I let my hustle, you know what I'm saying, I let my hustle show what time it is with me. And I locked in with a cat and was running with him for a while, you know what I'm saying, when it slowed down, I already had my packets in with other companies, and I just got back on that phone. I was like, hey man, what, you know, y'all got some work. And I started going, you know what I'm saying, busting moves with somebody else. And you know what I'm saying? Right now, you know what I'm saying? doing this fire cleanup, you know what I'm saying? Getting, you know what I'm saying, getting a super bag. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying?
see,
Doing that fire cleanup up in the mountains for right now, you know what I'm saying? And working on getting another truck, you know what I'm saying, to put somebody else in, and it's just gonna build, you know what I'm saying? Scale up, you know,
is
it's
it
just
like a
gonna scale
family
up.
thing too? Is your kids doing it, or and is your kids trying to get
Nah,
into music? Has any of your kids tried to
not
get
at all.
into anything? No.
My
What?
daughter, my daughter rap. My daughter rap, you know what I'm saying, MK bands, you can look her up. But as far as the trucking and whatnot, nah, my you know what I'm saying, my sons ain't trying to hop up in no trucks. They ain't, you know, they don't know. They just don't know. I talked to my youngest son, he just graduated a couple days ago, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, little
Yes, I
Rico.
saw the
You know what
picture.
I'm saying?
Congratulations,
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, yeah. That was a boy. That was a happy day for me, man. That was so surreal. You know what I'm saying? He's so smooth and cool with it and nonchalant. You know what I'm saying? He just that's me. That's Mikco 2.0.
That's what I was
You know
about
what
to
I'm
say. Where
saying?
did he get that from?
And that boy is man spitting image and the whole little nonchalant and you know what I'm saying? You talk about unbothered, you know what I'm saying? It's just the most unbothered, you know what I'm saying? But he wants to, you know, get into electrician or electrical engineer, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm like, you know, it's okay, it's whatever, you know, but if you want to, you're more than likely to come, you know what I'm saying? I'll show you the game. He's like, man, that's too much work, Dad. I said, man, you just don't know. It is no work. You know what I'm saying? You just get in there and push buttons. You know what I'm saying? Push buttons and watch you keep your eye on the road. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be good. But you know, I
Yeah.
let my kids pick their own. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I like that. I let them do their own thing, and whatever they do, I get behind them and I give them all the game. You know what I'm saying? And let it be what it be. You know
But
what I'm saying?
how much game, what kind of advice have you given like your daughter and everything?
As far as what, as
Music,
far as
with
what
her being in the music and stuff.
in the music,
Yeah.
shoot, you know, I just tell her to stay writing. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
she was hyping about it. She it's kind of like it kind of festered, you know, kind of like dwindled a little bit because I ain't really, you know what I'm saying. She wanted me to get on a song with her a while back, and then and I don't know whatever happened about that. But when I'm working on some music right now, and I'm gonna get her on something. But she do get down because for my 50th, her and Lick, you know what I'm saying, they surprised me, man. Oh man,
Oh,
they
I
blew me
think I
away.
saw that
Um,
post. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they did a song. They did
Yeah.
a song for me, and they performed it on my 50th, and that shit was crazy. They was busting too. She was gassing. You know what I'm saying? She was gassing, and I was just like, damn, everybody was surprised. And I was not as surprised as me though, because I was like, damn, that shit had me. I was crying and shit.
I was about to ask, were you crying? But I was like,
Man, man, I was crying. I was like, man, I was embarrassed. I was like, man, these niggas got me crying and shit. Let me sitting up here in all my glory crying. You
oh,
know what I'm saying?
that's your baby, you know?
Yeah, she blew
Yeah.
me away with that though. She blew me away though. She be gassing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it's just like shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? She works with special needs, with special
Mhm.
needs children. So, you know what I'm saying? That's her main thing right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, this rap is nothing but a it's nothing but a hobby, you know what I'm saying? And until it kick, and if it kick, you know what I'm saying, it's shit, you know,
Did I just hear
whatever, you know
you
what I'm
get
saying?
back in the studio?
Yeah, yeah. I've been getting down. Lick and had me, you know what I'm saying? Lick got me, you know what I'm saying, back on some, you know what I'm saying, on some, you know, back in the booth, and
Hmm.
you know, but it's just like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I still got it, you know what I'm saying? But it just don't move me. You know what I'm saying? It don't move me because what I'm what I'm doing right now, man, I'm eating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm eating, and it's just going. You know what I'm saying? It just gets better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's a love of mine, so I'm not gonna count it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on a book as well,
Mhm.
and but when it's work, you know what I'm saying? I got to get to what's paying these bills. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? All that other shit is excess rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? But what's paying these bills and you know what I'm saying and
Mhm.
fun and building that account and that you know what I'm saying that portfolio is this trucking industry. You know
And
what I'm
you know,
saying?
it's different nowadays too. It's like I don't know because that as I'm older, I'm just seeing things and a little bit more cautious, but or it's just really crazy. You can't even really do any event anymore without something popping off,
And
some stupid stuff.
got something crazy going on. Yeah, man. That's another thing too. It's like, you know, for one, the shit ain't paying enough, and I'm not gonna put my life on the line for some, you know what I'm saying, some weirdo, you know what I'm saying, J Cat. You know what I'm saying? I had a just I did a show with my brother in Vegas, I think like last month. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? We did one in Vegas, at a motorcycle club in Vegas. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't got down in a while, and it was cool. So you know, I enjoyed myself, and you know what I'm
okay, so
saying, in
let's
and
back
out like
up
a
on that.
robbery.
You got a bike.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, I ride.
oh, okay.
I've been riding since the third grade.
Wow.
I've been riding motorcycles since the third grade. You know what I'm saying? With the same cat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy AB. You know what I'm saying? Big Aaron from Meadowview.
Are
You know
you
what I'm
part of
saying?
a club or no?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. But I do. But shouts out to the to my boys, to my bros, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Sacramento Wise guys, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it
Yeah,
was.
that's what I pound with, you know what I'm saying? And then my young bro, young stupid, you know what I'm saying? He would was Satadura, you know what I'm saying? They're a 1% club, you know what I'm saying? But I mainly ride with the Sacramento Wise guy, you
Okay.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I said, Meek don't do this interview tonight. I'm going to the bike night. I was gonna go to bike night.
You ain't gonna find me. You ain't gonna find me there.
Yeah, but you know me, I'm
I'll be
like,
asleep by that time.
yeah, but you know me, I'll be out there like networking, my real estate and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
Oh
like
yeah,
all
for
these
sure.
bikes and stuff out there. I'll be out there talking.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
have on my shirt, want to buy or sell a home. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta network your wet work. You know what I'm saying?
There'd be like
Yep.
almost 100 people out there.
100, it'd be about 300 out there, one
Yeah,
parking lot. And
yeah,
it don't be no problems. But you know, the sheriff be right there too, though.
yeah.
But
The
it don't be
jurors.
no problems, you know, because everybody is on one accord. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? It's they're about that bike life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? From the Rice Rockets to the Harleys. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? They just everybody just there in a harmonious conversions, drinking, smoking, you know, you can smoke outside now and shit. So, you know. It'd be cool. You know what I'm
Nice little
saying?
vibe.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
You walk through, you hear rap music, walk a little bit more, hear country, walk a little bit, hear rock. You know,
Rock and roll, the whole
everybody's
shit. You know what I'm
everybody's
saying?
kidding, long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, so all right, so what I hear in the future, you got a book coming, you back in the studio. Is there anything else in the future we should know about?
Um, shit, yeah, that's about it, man. I mean, it's a certain individual, that's gonna drop an album, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying, that you would man, you'd be amazed. You know what I'm saying? That that we didn't got back on you know what I'm saying, on the same page. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let that do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be promoted. You know what I'm saying? Real heavy, and you're gonna love it. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? You're gonna love it. It's gonna
well,
get
you
out there.
got
You'll
individuals
hear it.
welcome to come on here. Just let me like just call me, say, Lita, you know,
Mm-hmm.
let's go ahead and do this again,
Mm-hmm.
such and such, anytime you want to come through, most definitely
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Um, I just want to thank you,
Strange.
huh?
I said strange. You know what time it is. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. I just want to thank you for taking the time out. We both get up early. We was both, I was like, Oh, he texted me at 4:30. I said he probably gonna be shocked that I'm texting him back at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, I was surprised that you hit me back. I was like, well, I mean, but
No,
that's me. That's what time I'm up early. I'm up, you know what I'm saying?
well,
Hey,
I get up.
early bird get the worms, but I see you up there, you up early too,
Well, I
you
pray,
know?
read the Bible, I meditate before I walk out the door. I put
I
on
heard that.
armor, and stuff, post little positive stuff, and then I go to work and stuff. But yeah, I'm up there. I'm up there having that me time, you know,
Hmm.
because you like we said,
Yeah,
this world ain't the same, at all.
yeah,
I gotta set
yeah.
that positivity before you get out. So won't you is there any like how do people contact you? Like your Facebook, your IG, won't you, shout out those?
Man, shit, Young Meek, just put in Young Meek and it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna come up. Young Meek, it's gonna, Mikco, your and Young Meek. It's all, you know what I'm saying? Young Meek 23 times on IG, I believe.
Hmm,
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't hard to find. You
okay.
know, I got one of them names that just it's not typical. So, when you put it in, it's gonna pop up. So it's
Mhm.
gonna
Now,
pop up
one
easy.
last thing. Is there anything you haven't done that you want to do? Or anybody that you haven't worked with that you want to work with, music wise too? Those two questions.
Um, nah, 'cause they dead. You know what I'm saying? They dead. So
Mm.
well, you know what? It's one. It's one double R. You know what I'm saying? Richie Rich.
Oh,
That's my favorite rapper out the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? Richie Rich. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because my partner had a birthday party. I found a random out of Seaside. Out of Seaside. Look,
huh?
Seaside he's popping up. But we was in Seaside. I took my family out there and fuck with my boy, random.
Hmm.
And he had Spice One Be Legit and Richie Rich perform at his birthday party. And
Wow.
we sitting there, we sitting at the table, you know what I'm saying? And I'm getting my little footage and shit like that, and I'm rapping along with it. And the nigga Richie Rich come up to my table and is like, this nigga knows all the words to the songs. He said, what the fuck? This nigga knows all the words, Mr. Cameraman. I said, yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You my motherfucking guy, nigga. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
he was living out here, wasn't he?
Who?
I think Richie Rich was
Richie
living.
Rich? Nah, nah, nah.
I think
Shit,
they
they
said
ain't
he
all
had.
them niggas stayed out here.
I think they
DJ
said
Quick
something
got a
about Elk
house out
Grove.
here.
I think about Elk
DJ,
Grove or something. They said
nah,
Rich was out.
Richie Rich ain't living out here. He might come out here and knock stuff, but he ain't staying out here. You
Mm,
can look on this. You can look on his Instagram and see that he ain't in Sac. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? How he get down, how he moving, be that ain't Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
our DJ Quick got a house out in Sac, and you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Mac in Sac, and you
okay.
know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody that's doing anything from Sacramento artist wise that don't even live in Sac. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, y'all pay attention to that Three Kings album that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the that music is gonna be on. You know what I'm saying? Them boys up out the gardens. You
Wait
know
a
what I'm
minute.
saying?
So the Three Kings, who's that?
That's who was that? That's shit, the most three notarized Crip niggas out of Sacramento. Shit. As
Hmm.
odd as it is, X-Rated, Brother Lynch and Sebo. I think
Okay.
they doing something.
Okay. I didn't. This is my first
Yeah.
time hearing about it. Okay.
It's on there. I've seen it they promoting it on Facebook pretty heavy. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Amongst other places, but that's where I see it because that's the only thing that really, what I'm saying?
yeah. That's good to see. I'm glad to see X rated. Yeah, I'm starting to see him more like on Facebook popping up and everything. So.
Yeah.
It's always good to see all the OGs, letting people know we still here, look at our brother
Yeah.
40. 40, 40 still out there.
Yeah, yeah. He you know what I'm saying?
He ain't
Man,
slowed down.
that's the guy right there, man. He show you how to do it. He get it. he knows how, man, he's a whole nother animal, man. He's a whole nother animal. You
He's
know what I'm
got
saying?
he's
He
got the
been had it
mind.
mapped out. He
Yeah.
been had it mapped out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You
And
know, he hits
the
it
thing
from
is, you guys stay
he
humble
hit it from every angle.
every angle, every angle.
Yeah.
But you
He
guys stay
hits it.
humble though. Have you noticed like a lot of most of those, us from back in the days, we're very humble still. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
you may look mean, you look mean. So, you don't look sometimes,
That's yeah, I'm not a I'm just a no nonsense type of person, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying?
but you're cool. You one
I
of the coolest,
laughing, huh?
but you one of the coolest people that I know. We hit it off
If you
right
know
away.
me, yeah, because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Game recognized game and the real recognized real. You know what
Fair.
I'm saying? If you're a bullshitter, then you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna treat you as such. You know what I'm saying? I got an automatic shit separator on. You know what I'm saying? And I smell you out real
Like
quick, and then
detector.
it's like, yeah, that bullshit detector, man, go that way, man. You know what I'm saying? I hate it. You know,
Yeah.
cornball. You know.
Exactly. So, but I appreciate you. Tell the family I say hey, and stuff. I still would love to do the interview that we talked about, but I know what you said. So,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
you never know. You might motivate, inspire people.
yeah.
That's
Probably,
a
you know
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
book
But
right
that's
there too. I don't know what book you write, but that's a really good book about long lasting. And I just have to say this. I know, about your personal life and stuff, but like 40. Being with his wife for so long, and and your wife, y'all, you guys are inspirations. Y'all can show that, especially
it can
Black
be
love is
done.
still
Yeah,
there.
Black Love. Yeah. It's realer than that.
You
Pap
know,
and Remy.
yeah, it's
And
just like,
That Black Love like Pap and Remy, not like Pap and Remy. You know what I'm saying? It's based on, you know what I'm saying? It's that Black Love. It's when you grew up, you gotta grow with them. You gotta grow up with them. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
It's different when you meet them along the way. Then the situations can have a turn for the worse. But when you kind of like grew up with your spouse or whatnot, or you know what I'm saying? When you with the person that was there when you really, you know what I'm saying, when you was going through your whatever you was going through, or before you had anything or whatnot, that's what makes it, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes it transcend. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I guess it's
Yeah.
for me. So
Yeah. So yeah. Shout out to Dee Dee and the fam. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? The your clan. You know what I'm saying?
yes, she's an amazing one. Every time I see her, it's all love. She's just so, sweet and everything, So I just love seeing y'all. I love seeing the couples. I love seeing you two. I love seeing 40 and Tracy. You know what I mean? It's just, it's just awesome. I just love it
Hmm.
and stuff. You guys keep your life so private too. And that is what's so important. You see, that's another thing about this younger generation. They put everything on Facebook.
Yeah, all their business. You
And
know what
then
I'm
they're back
saying?
together. You you
Yeah.
know,
You air out your business and then you be back together. You looking all foolish. You know what I'm saying? And stupid. Like, oh man, nah, man. You
yes.
know,
Just keep
chill
everything,
out.
keep everything private, promote your business and everything. Y'all see me, I'll be promoting nothing but business stuff. So,
Right.
but we got to do this again. Let me know when you and that other person about to drop and stuff, and we'll jump on. I don't care what day it is. It don't have to be a
Oh yeah,
Thursday,
for sure.
and
Yeah.
everything. And I will see you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you. I
All right,
appreciate
appreciate
you.
you. All right, love you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Love you too.